it's Kelly from Kelly's Astrology, talking to you a little bit about some of the aspects coming up next week, the week starting Monday, December 14. Starting the week, we have a Sun square Jupiter aspect kicking off on Monday and Tuesday. And then later in the week, Thursday and Friday, we have a Venus-Pluto angle to kind of close out the week. So first things first, Sun square Jupiter. This aspect has a real kind of go big or go home quality to it. The influence of the sun, which is really about presence, it's about expression, putting your light out into the world, is expanded by Jupiter. And the sun's in Sag, which is Jupiter's sign. So we've got this theme here around wanting to really be authentic and speak up for what's true or real for you. And doing so might lead to a little bit of tension or the need for adjustment, but it's always good, I think, to speak from the heart. So we've got this idea of the light of the sun being expanded by truth-telling Jupiter. Jupiter is also a planet about thinking big, dreaming big, and kind of going beyond familiar territory. So early this week, Monday, Tuesday, we've got this real energy about stretching, getting outside your comfort zone, going outside of what you would normally do, over and above, I might say. So the idea of pushing limits, not so much to break yourself, but just to have new experiences. Think about what happens when you get outside your comfort zone. You are in unknown territory, but that can be very exciting and can lead to some encounters, opportunities, ideas, or even fresh perspectives that you didn't even know were possibilities. So that spirit of the adventurer or the gypsy is very strong, Monday, Tuesday, December 14 and 15. The other quality that I really see coming up with Jupiter is the idea of generosity, giving thanks or giving back. And so with the sun kind of really spotlighting Jupiter, if you think about the main light that we have in our solar system coming from the sun and that light being connected to Jupiter, don't worry so much about the idea of the square. That just indicates perhaps a little bit of effort being required. More importantly, we have these two very warm, kind of generous and giving energies coming together. So Monday, Tuesday, certainly go over and above to help people, to provide support. But if you are doing things like Christmas shopping or planning for a big meal or what have you, you might find that there's a little bit of that over the top quality, that you spend a little bit more than you wanted, or that there's this real extreme or perhaps excessive. And that's really the one caution that we have whenever our Jupiter comes up, which is this idea of you want to go big, you want to make a splash with Jupiter, but you've got to try and find that fine line between not taking things too far or going beyond those limits. So stretching like an elastic band to take in more, but obviously you don't want to go so far that elastic band breaks. So that's a little bit of the energy that's influencing us early in the week, Monday, Tuesday. And then later in the week, we have our sort of sexy, saucy and seductive Venus-Pluto combination. Now, Venus and Pluto together are very much about tripping over my words, truth, trust and loyalty. I'm trying to put truth and trust together, which is really what Venus and Pluto are kind of all about. So the Venus-Pluto, this does have a more personal quality to it. The Sun-Jupiter might get you thinking big about life plans or career plans, especially, of course, for 2016, which is coming up before we know it. But Venus in Scorpio is much more about emotional connections. So this might highlight close friendships, family relationships, and, of course, your romantic entanglements. And sometimes with Venus in Scorpio, even that connection to Pluto, there is a level of things being entangled. How am I enmeshed with another person? Am I open and honest at these kind of deeper layers and levels? So new honesty is required or might be essential to go further in some of those close connections next week as Venus aligns with Pluto. And what I also wanted to do, just from a little bit of an educational perspective here, is to pop up a little chart and just sort of point out how these aspects look when you are looking at a chart. So this is a chart that I've created from my location, which is in a little town called Orangeville in Canada, close to Toronto. That's our nearest major city. And so essentially what we're looking at, I haven't got aspect lines in the center. I like to draw them in myself. I like to keep things simple so I don't get confused. So this is a chart for Monday, December 14, and you can see Jupiter up here, over here, Jupiter at 22 Virgo, and the Sun at 22 Sag. So because of the 90-degree connection or relationship between the signs of Sag and the sign of Virgo, anytime we get a planet in both of those signs at the same degree at the same time, we're going to get that square angle being formed. So there's a bit of a tug of war or a tug of heart between themes to do with Sagittarius, which is that adventure, push boundaries, go big, go home kind of quality, and Virgo, which wants to attend to a few details or get things organized, cleaned, and cleared out. So Monday, Tuesday, there's a little bit of tension between what you might need to do as a task or a responsibility versus the things that you dream about doing, and maybe needing to make some adjustments between the two. And then the Venus-Pluto sextile, I hope I've been calling that correctly. We've got Venus up here at the top of the chart, 11 Scorpio, sorry. There we go. It's so tricky with this mirror. And Pluto down here at 14 Capricorn. So this chart's set for Monday, so you can see it's not until the end of the week, Thursday, Friday, that Venus moves up to that 14 Scorpio part and gets close enough to make that sextile relationship with Pluto. Essentially, the relationship there between Scorpio and Capricorn, that those signs are only 60 degrees apart, which forms our supportive or flowing sextile. So truth, trust, loyalty, and honesty highlighted in relationships at the end of the week. And that's around December. One second, I'll just check my trusty ephemeris, which I highly recommend for all working or wannabe astrologers. So the end of next week, it's basically a big calendar with lots of planetary info in it. We've got Thursday the 17th and Friday the 18th. And of course, this is sort of the last full working week before many people will shut down and go on holidays for the Christmas New Year break. So an exciting time to keep on top of things. It is a week under the moon phase, under a waxing growing moon. We've recently had that Sagittarius new moon, and we're now building into the Cancer full moon, which is actually happening on December 25th, Christmas Day. And my next video is going to talk a little bit more about that. But suffice to say, this week, starting Monday, December 14, lots of opportunities for growth, expansion, spreading your wings, and trying new things. So good luck with it.